Hello, my name is Mark Taylor, and welcome to the Education on Fire podcast. The place for creative and inspiring learning from around the world. Listen to teachers, parents and mentors share how they are supporting children to live their best authentic life and are proving to be a guiding light to us all. Hello and welcome back to the Education on Fire live podcast. It's always great to be able to come here on YouTube, the opportunity for us to be able to come together. If you have any questions, if you have any comments you'd like to put in the comment, please do that. I can always bring that up on screen and it gives us a chance to connect as well. If you just want to sit and listen, that's absolutely fine too, but I'm really delighted to be able to be here and share what we're talking about today. So exactly, what are we here to share about? So we're going to be talking about Lepra, and we've had Lepra on the audio podcast before. And if you haven't done that, you can find that on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you normally get your podcasts, and check out exactly a little bit of history of those. And we'll have a little bit of a catch up of that as well. But as you can see, they've got a free competition going on, and they've got a new event which they're going to be chatting to us about, which is going to be really exciting. And we have a time limit on here of going into the beginning of the autumn term. So we wanted to make sure we could get on, give you the opportunity to hear about it now, give you the opportunity to share it with all your friends and colleagues around the schools as well, to make sure that you don't miss out. So in case you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button. It's always great to make sure that you have all the latest information, and also that notification bell, which means that you'll get obviously notified as soon as we're going live, should you not have seen it on the email or anything else which is going through as well. So I'm delighted to welcome Krista to the show. Krista, thank you so much for joining us. It's fantastic to have this sort of recap of Lepra, obviously having had a connection before. But yeah, thanks so much for joining us today.
Hi, Mark. Thanks so much for having me.
Fantastic. So I know, as we said, there's a competition, there's a fundraising opportunity. So give us a sort of a bit of an insight as to what this is all about.
Yeah, of course. So, as you've mentioned on our previous podcast, we talked about a schools program that Lepra hold at schools. We hold virtual talks, which involves sending the school an assembly, talk about leprosy and the work that Lepra do as well for people that are affected by leprosy in the places that we work, which are India and Bangladesh. We find it really important to raise awareness to young pupils. We've been doing it for over 50 years, and it's something that we really want to continue, like engaging our young people, and which is why we've also launched this competition. So we thought it's a great way to bring on new schools on board. Hopefully, if they're lucky enough to win a fantastic prize as well. So yeah, just trying to engage as many more schools as we can.
And I think for me, after I'd had our previous podcast, I was chatting to her about it at home, and I think there was one, if not two, of our children have been involved in a fundraising activity when they were at primary school. So it was, I thought, I knew that came across it before. I knew that there'd been something related to it in our sort of personal experience as well. But yeah, they remembered it very fondly.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I suppose you don't know who you could be reaching out to, or I think a lot of our students as well, they remember these sort of events because it's quite different from their usual curriculum activities. So it's like quite fun, the different fundraising activities they get involved in, the sponsored events. They can be creative and entrepreneurial as well. So yeah, it really is something quite different that we like to bring to the table and like to get the teachers involved in as well. So yeah, something that's really great to be a part of.
So take us into what this particular event is and some of the details.
Yeah. So basically, this school's competition, we launched it in the spring. And the idea is we want to get more schools to come on board with our schools program. So if they book a schools talk at the moment, they'll receive a virtual video. They'll also receive support from ourselves with setting up a JustGiving page, some ideas around fundraising activities to get involved in, as well as some resources as well. So if we're asking schools to book between now and October the 30th, and if they book a school talk, then they'll be entered into the competition to win 3 fantastic prizes. So it could either be a tablet, a literacy book bundle, which has been sponsored kindly by Walker Books, or £100 Amazon voucher. So, some really great prizes to, have the school potentially win. And also, they'll be able to raise awareness about leprosy to their young people and get involved in being part of one of these schools programs, one of these fundraising events, that we will be able to support them on that journey with. So, yeah, it's exciting to basically have more schools getting engaged and being able to be a part of Lepra and the work that we do.
And I guess as well, just to sort of just to clarify, it's actually making sure you've booked the event before the end of October rather than actually having it necessarily delivered in that time.
Yeah, that's right. So even if you book your talk, if it's not taking place before the 30th of October, so if you wanted to take place in the spring or the summer term in 2024, then that's absolutely fine. You'll still be entered into the competition. So it's basically just booking the talk by the 30th of October, even if you haven't decided what your fundraising activity may be. It's just more getting that date in, and then you'll be entered into the draw.
And take us into the events and the fundraising opportunities, because I think if I remember rightly before, they can be as sort of eventful and as sort of dynamic as your thought process, really.
Yeah, so I mean, we have a lot of different ideas that come through. When a school does come on board, we sort of give an initial ideas of what they may want to take part in. So there's a creative fundraising project, which is basically where we sort of say, if people want to do a sponsored event, whether that be a sponsored silence or do some housework and raise funds for that, or do a sponsored walk, then they can do whatever they fancy doing, and asking their friends and family to raise funds for them on. And basically we will be able to provide them with a sponsorship envelope that they could take home, to then encourage their friends and family to complete and put some cash in that donations within that, or they can have a JustGiving page so their friends and family can donate online. Another idea that we have is also our Move for Lepra challenge. So this is quite an exciting one as well. We'd get the school, sometimes it's a year group. So a year group may want to take on a challenge of moving or covering the distance of North India to South India, which is just under 2,000 miles as a year group. Or they may want to cover the distance from their school to India.